Rock and Roll Geek Show 1124.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA. Online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022, and it is 7:26 p.m. when I'm recording this episode. I'm going to open up Pacifico here in the Yeti knockoff. This is the second beer of the day. Just came back from having Chinese food, and I had a Heineken at the Chinese restaurant. Second one of the day, always the best. It's going to be, I don't have a lot of time tonight because I have to go to bed early. The wife and I are catching a plane in the morning to Hawaii, so we have to get up at the crack. I'm up anyway, usually at 4:45 regardless, but we have to get up and get ready and get out of here because we have to be at the airport by like 7:30 tomorrow or something like that. So I'm going to do a Rock and Roll Geek episode because I'm not going to be having any other time to do one, and I got a lot of audio comments and things to talk about and things to get to. Otherwise, they're not going to be timely anymore, so here I am tonight doing a Rock and Roll Geek Show, friends, and I thank you so much for listening because if you're listening to this, you are a true friend of mine because judging by some of the people who have listened to this show in the past couple weeks, yeah, you're my only friends. All right, okay. So tomorrow morning, we're getting my wife's packing right now. I've been packed since this afternoon. I got off work about noon, came home and packed. It doesn't take me but like 10 minutes to pack, but she has to vacuum out the suitcases and fold her clothes all nice and neat. I just toss a bunch of shit in the thing and zip it up and go. But that's because I'm a dude. Let's do a little bit of. So what's the plan when I'm going to Hawaii? Well, we're going to visit my daughter Martina and visit the baby. The baby's now crawling around now, little Cameron. She's crawling around now and making a lot of noise. And so we're going to be playing pretty much Grandma and Grandpa for the next week. We're going tomorrow and we're staying till the 6th of May. So a week and one day. And it's going to go quick because when I get back, I'm going to be swamped with work. So I'm going to try my best to enjoy the time off and enjoy that little baby. Because who knows, when you become a grandfather, especially after Don dies, but you start thinking about, man, I'm getting old. Am I going to see this kid grow up? How old is this kid going to be when I die? And am I going to die soon? Things that I don't want to think about. So I'm going to try to enjoy my time in Hawaii, and I'm definitely going to enjoy time with the little baby because she's a little cutie, and I can't wait to see her. And I can't wait to see my daughter either. Have not seen her since before Christmas, so it's going to be a good time. It's going to cost a fucking fortune, but hey, I could be dead tomorrow, so might as well blow it all, friends. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of open Butler's mail, if that's okay. First of all, I would like to thank Erik Mortensen from the Metal Moment podcast. Not Metal Moment podcast, that's Chiaki, I'm sorry. From Mordo's Metal Museum. Erik he's the metal CPA, and he does my taxes, and he also sent me, I sent him a cutting board and a donation to the Mordo's Metal Museum. I don't know why I keep saying Metal Moment. To Mordo's Metal Museum, and he returned the favor by sending me some great Mordo's Metal Museum shot glasses, which the wife is using probably right now as we speak. All right, here is something from, I believe this is from Kirk Crawford. Yes, it is from Kirk Crawford from Rancho Santa Fe, California. Oh, he's not far from here. This is a book, Rock and roll warrior. My Misadventures with Alice Cooper, Prince, George Clinton, Living Color, The Runaways, and More by David Liebert. David Liebert, I don't know who is David Liebert. Oh, it's autographed to Kirk Crawford from David Liebert. Looking back at the Welcome to My Nightmare tour, there was only one person who could have been the road manager. Okay, he was the road manager for Alice Cooper, road manager for George Clinton, road manager for The Runaways. Shep Gordon does a blurb. Susie Quattro. Well, for somebody who has booked the acts, done the tours, drunk the alcohol, had the hangover, done the flights, rocked the joint or two, and let's not forget sweet little Connie from Little Rock. It's about time you wrote the book. Love you, Dave. All right. Well, thank you, Kirk Crawford. I'm looking forward to reading this, and I'm going to bring this on the plane with me, and it's got semi-large fonts, so it should go quick. I'll probably finish this. I don't know if I'll finish it on the trip, but I'm going to have some reading material at the beach now. So thank you so much, Kirk Crawford. I really appreciate it, friend. And something from Michael Street I'm opening up here. It's obviously an album. He told me he was sending me this. This is Record Store Day was this past weekend, I think. And Michael Street sent me this double LP, The Knack, live at the House of Blues, September 25th, 2001. That's 20 years ago. Is that right? My math ain't me forte. Record Store Day. 2 LPs featuring My Sharona, Good Girls Don't and More in baby blue vinyl. Let's pull it up. Let's open it up here. Very nice packaging. It folds, gate folds, so you can, lots of words in the middle of it. A big, Tony Valenza, president of Smile Records, who's the people who put this record out, I think. So this is, Doug Feger on vocals and guitar, Bert Nevere vocals and guitar, Prescott Niles on bass, and Dave Henderson on drums. That's not the original drummer. That original drummer was a badass. Should we do a vinyl track of the week? Let me find the clip here.
And now, it's time for the Rock and Roll Geek Vinyl Track of the Week.
Let's look at the track. Pop is Dead, Baby Talks Dirty, Oh Tara, Can I Borrow a Kiss, Another Lousy Day in Paradise. That's side A. Side B, Good Girls Don't, One Day at a Time, It's Not Me, Harder on You, and Siamese Twins, The Monkey and Me. Side C, 7 Days of Heaven, Tequila, Break On Through to the Other Side, That's What the Little Girls Do. Side D, Frustrated, She's So Selfish, My Sharona, Let Me Out, and Last Train to Clarksville. Let's do Frustrated. Let's do Oh Tara. So we'll just find side 1. Okay, side 1. It's really nice baby blue vinyl. I'll take a picture of this. I'll post this as the pull out my phone right now and take a picture of this baby blue vinyl. Thank you, Michael Street. I really appreciate it. This will be the on rockandrollgeek.com. This will be the image on the post. All right, side A. Let's see here. I'm pulling out the Orbit turntable, and if I remember last time I played vinyl on the Rock and Roll Geek show through this turntable, it sounded better than the stuff on my computer. Let's see here. Let's see if it plays. Let me turn it on. I'm not hearing anything, so why not? Why am I not? Oh, there you go. It's this thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got this thing set on 45, so I got to make a change here. Hold on. Okay. All right, you got it. This thing has a pulley here, so I should be pausing this, but I'm not gonna. I'm hoping I can get this thing right. Let's see. Yada da 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 da. All right, I'm gonna pause this because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So let me pause it here. How do you pause? Okay, we are back. Man, that was a bitch changing the speed of that thing. All right, here we go. Here we go.
I
then you let it go. Ooh, Tara, my oh my, I can't afford it, no, I wouldn't try. I don't expect you to understand the thrill I feel when I hold your hand. But this was something I never planned. You're thinking of me as just a friend. My heart is breaking, I can't pretend. Ooh, Tara, it's for real. I can't help how I feel. Oh, Tara, oh, oh. Squeeze my heart and then you let it go. Ooh, Tara, my, oh, my. I can't afford it, no, I wouldn't try. Oh, Tara, oh, oh. You squeeze my heart, then you let it go. Ooh, Tara, my, oh, my. I can't afford it, no, I wouldn't try. Oh, oh, Tara. Oh, Tara, oh, oh. Oh, Tara. Oh, Tara, oh, oh.
There you go. Thank you, Michael Street. I really appreciate it, friend. Let me hear the audience. House of
It's good to be home.
Good to be home. See what he says.
We haven't done an official show in Hollywood in, yes, since we were very young tykes. Who's counting? Well, thank you. I like this person over here.
Doug Feger, very nice guy.
Not to get serious or anything,
hold
but
on.
in these troubled times,
I met him
They
at
are
the Rock and Roll
troubled times.
Fantasy Camp, and he was a super nice guy.
sometimes we need a night of unmitigated joy, and that's why we're here. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Rest in peace,
We're
the
gonna
great
have some
Doug
fun
Feger.
tonight. Everything's all right. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
All right.
Here's a
yeah.
song off our last album. It's called "Can I Borrow a Kiss?"
Okay, there you go. Thank you again, Michael Street. I really appreciate it. All right, before we continue, why don't we thank some people who donated to the Rock and Roll Geek Show? This is going to be a disjointed train wreck. I apologize, but hey, aren't they all, friends? Aren't they all? External Combustion, Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. They played here when I was out of town. I was up in the Mountain House, I believe, and missed the show. I know Joel went. It was sold out at the Independent in San Francisco, which is a great place to see someone like Mike Campbell. I heard that Stan Lynch is coming back to play with him. Was Stan Lynch in the band? Is he touring with him now? I'm not sure. But speaking of that, I got a lot of good response from that John Scott interview, the guy who wrote the Tom Petty book. Super nice guy, and I've talked to him on the phone afterwards. Really nice guy, and everybody who's given the positive feedback on that interview, thank you, friends, and thanks again, John Scott. He's actually now donating to the show, believe it or not. So, in honor of John Scott being a new donor to the Rock and Roll Geek Show, how about Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs in the background? Here we go. Wicked Mind. We might as well start from the top. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. Hello, oh, I got to turn it up.
High as a kite hiding from a searchlight.
There are several ways to donate to the Rock and Roll Geek Show, friends.
Sneaking through the alley like a hungry dog.
You can go to patreon.com/RNRGeek, like the following people did.
I don't think you understand what kind of man I really am. I'm a sinner
I like this.
with a rebel
Joe Pawlak, $16.66. Dan Gerawan, $15. Tim Schall, $15. Kirk Crawford, $12.77. Thank you, Kirk Crawford. Fred and Ginny Bunke, $10. I can't read. Michael Street, $7.50. Steve Scouller, $6.65. Dave Slusher, my podcast mentor and podcast Hall of Famer, $5.55. Brad Schultz, $5. Brad Shick, $5. Brian Springer, $5. Chiaki Hinohara of the Metal Woman Podcast and the Japanese Metalhead Show, the guy who lined up the Archie Cruz interview, $5. Cole Thornton, $5. Dan McBride, $5. Good. Erik Klein, $5. Grant Farquhar, $5. James Shapiro, $5. Jamie Jefford, $5. John Scott, writer of the book Tom Petty and Me, $5. Justin Lefkowitz, $5. Martin Clawley, $5. Metaldan, $5. Michael Brown, $5.
2 a.m. I jumped over the wall.
This is good. I really like this.
Fence I had to crawl.
Paul Smith, $5. Robert Harvey, $5. Steve T. Steve Trice, $5. Ted Wilbrecht, $5. Tony Field, $5. Mike Hellyer, £4. Derek Coward from the Comic Book Noise Podcast, $3. Mike Dixon, $3. Chad Burns, $2.50. Paul Rube, $2.25. Adrian Boschon, Bosch Rock on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which I did not create, but I do approve, people. You just got to answer 2 questions so that I know you're not one of those people who could possibly buy Twitter and allow the Nazis to take over. Down with free speech. Bruce McMillan, $2. Eric Stowell, $2. Matthew Hunt, $2. Patrick Shanahan, $2. Paul Underwood, maker of Underwood's Fine Barbecue Sauce, $2. Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe is back with $1.42. 3 Legs, 4 Wheels, Amy Bowen, Arnie Stash, Corey Kohler, John Richardson, and Mark Mazzei, all $1 at patreon.com/RNRGeek. How about now Dirty Job featuring Ian Hunter? Let's hear that one. Dirty Job featuring Ian Hunter. Come on, Dirty Job. Take a sip. Let me refresh my palate. You can also go to PayPal or just go to rockandrollgeek.com and click the donate button. John Morgan, $100, saved the show. BJ Lisco, $100, also saved the show. Kirk Crawford, another $50, he also saved the show.
Looking kind of cozy, sitting skin to skin.
Oh, this is good too, man.
Somebody tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Jason Gherkin, $20, and he says, awesome interview for the Petty book. Hear that, John Scott, if you happen to be listening? Douglas Free, $20. Greg Brofer, $20. I'm still praying every night, Greg Brofer. Every night. I hope it's working. Jason Shepard, $10. Jeff and Sherry Thielilicky, $10.
Might as well be me.
Dave Franco, $10. Blake Johnson, $10. Todd Cunningham, friend of the show and friend of mine, $10. James Paget, $10. James Venners, $10. BJ Lisco, another $10. Ralph Miller, friend of mine and friend of the show, $10. Dave Jackson in the School of Podcasting, Hall of Famer, $10. Richard Fusey, $7.77. Nicholas Sanmo, $6.66. Richard Fusey, also $6.66. Is it Fusey?
It's a dirty
Adam Brichet, $2. Keenan O'Meara, $5. Benjamin Muller, $5. John Offenloch, $5. Jennifer Wilbrecht, $5. Jace Lesniewski, $5. Christopher Del Grande, $5. I think he went to this Mike Campbell show. I'd like a show review, please. John Tennis, $5. Greg Long, $5. Eric Lentz, $5. Robbie Giglio, $5. Dale Roller, $5. Andrew Howell, $5. John Skiller, $5. Jero Carroll, $5. Robert Scott, $5. Peter Sparks, $5. Robert Scott, Peter Sparks, $5. Kai Matsuda, $2. Brian Gradich, $2. Vincent Creamy, $2. William Moffat, $2. Nasty Satvet Hagen, $2. Stephen Mascord, $2. Brett Garsky, $5. I got the numbers all screwed up. Thank you, Brett Garsky, for the $5. Deborah Dreyfus, if that's your real name, $2. Philip Vermeulen, $2. And Jason Wendleton, $2. Philip Vermeulen, a new donor. Thank you, Philip. Thank you to everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. rockandrollgeek.com and hit the donate button. I take a sip of this fine Pacifico to everybody who supports the Rock and Roll Geek Show, because without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. It's a value for value, so if you get any value out of the show, please, friends, help the brother out. There you go. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. If the rest of the album sounds as good as those two songs, then I'm going to really, this could be a contender for the top 10. We'll see. All right. If you remember back about 3 or 4 shows ago, James Shapiro, I'm losing my mind, friends. James Shapiro called in with a Darkness show review. It was a cliffhanger. Remember all the way back to that cliffhanger. I'm gonna look. If you do not remember, I'll refresh your memory. Here's call number 1.
Michael Butler, how you doing? It's James Shapiro.
Oh, did I say James Schwab? James Shapiro. Oh God, what a fucking train wreck. James Shapiro, who I met when I was visiting John in Blue Ridge. He came over and we had dinner and I'd had some beers and watched the band play. Nice guy. He called in this James Shapiro.
Let me just pause for a second to ask how you are doing. I'm not doing so well. I'm going to tell you, I'm not doing well at all.
Now, we've heard this comment before. I'm playing it again for people who have not heard. By the way, I'm super great. Couldn't be better.
I want to know how you're doing, Michael Butler.
Super great. Couldn't be better.
All right. That makes one of us. Yeah. I'm here calling you. You can hear my wind tunnel Jeep here as I'm going about 1 million miles an hour. I'm going to relay my little story of the Darkness gig so far. As I mentioned on the Facebook group, I was hoping to get to the VIP. I was hoping to get a liner for my good friend Michael Butler. And I was hoping to have a great night at the show with my wife. I still think that can happen. But of course, I arrive at the venue for the VIP meet and greet. We've already had a complete snafu of schedules, so my wife can't be at the VIP. She was going to meet me later. Get all checked in. I'm waiting in line for the doors to open. I'm feeling pretty good, at the very least, that I'm going to have a great time at the meet and greet. And then work calls. And I never want to complain about my job. I have a great job that many people would kill for.
He is in
but this can happen sometimes, and it's
on a sports network, I believe.
There is a world-class emergency that I need to deal with.
Yeah, that sports is
and at that exact
world-class
moment,
emergencies.
The doors open to get into the VIP. I hang up the phone. I think that I'm going to have to quickly get myself home, throw on a shirt with a collar, get myself back in to deal with the work thing, figure out when the darkness is going to come on, figure out how to get my wife into the venue if she drives by herself, and then get there in time for the show. And that's what I'm doing right now. So I concoct this plan in my head. The door opens. I make an executive decision. I'm walking in there. I'm walking in there for part of the VIP because I want to see the fucking darkness.
And because you paid.
And sure enough, I go in, use the bathroom, I take a deep breath, I walk out with the other maybe 30 people that are part of the VIP group, and I see the darkness do sound check growing on me, and it is so fucking great. Justin is out there looking cool as shit. He's got a scarf and a sweater get up on and a beanie hat because it's cold here in Atlanta. Frankie is literally wearing an Adidas tracksuit that's green, and he's wearing a hat on the top of his head, like a baseball hat, and it's actually Florida A&M University Rattlers, which, if you know, that's an HBCU. They don't have white Englishmen going to that school.
James would know this because
Dan Hawkins
he works at a
wearing
sports
an
network.
AC/DC hat, looking cool as shit. And Rufus, of course, holding it down on the drums. Amazing. I stay for that. I stay to hear them do Heart Explodes. Then I go to the merch booth and talk to their gal at the merch booth, a very, very nice lady named Jo. I explain our situation. She's completely apologetic. I say I will see you later tonight. Hopefully that'll help me out, just knowing my sob story here. And I headed out. I'm shaking. I'm so pissed off. But at the same time, I think I've got my plan together to get back to the venue before 9 o'clock when the darkness come on. And I'm going to give you the story as best I can. And I'm sorry Michael Butler was not able to get a liner, but when they let us in for the VIP, they said they wouldn't really allow that sort of thing anyway. So it wasn't going to happen even if I did get to stay, unfortunately. But I mean, I'm going to try to relay to you as much of the darkness experience as I possibly can. And hope you're doing well, Michael Butler. As always, I will talk to you later, my friend.
All right, so then
Stay
he called
frosty.
back. I think I played.
I'm certainly not right now, but I hope you are.
I think I
later.
played the next one too. Here he calls back.
Michael Butler, James Shapiro, back at the venue. I'm right outside. Unbelievably, I made it back here. So I'm going to get to see the show. Took care of the emergency at work. And of course, was sending my first audio comment to you. And I held up my phone to send the freaking email, and I was on the road, and of course, promptly got pulled over for breaking the Georgia hands-free phone law. So I got a fucking ticket.
Yeah, I asked him what the price of the ticket was because when I got a ticket in San Francisco for holding the phone in my lap, I was talking on the phone and it was in my lap, and I got a ticket. It was $500. I believe he told me this ticket was like $75.
On top of everything else. But rock and roll conquers all.
Yes.
I'm here to let it all go, have some fucking drinks, see the fucking darkness. So I would be very remiss, again, I didn't ask you, how you doing, Michael Butler?
I'm super great, couldn't be better.
That's good, because
Yes.
until now,
Now he's
I have
doing
been
good.
shitty, late, and couldn't be worse.
Yes.
But
you
I'm going to
made
get in
it.
here and see the show, and I will let you know how it goes. Hopefully I'll have a little Jack and Diet Coke or beers or all of the above. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Stay frosty. Talk
All
to
right.
you soon.
So that was the cliffhanger. He emailed me about I think the next day or the day after that, which by then I had done. I had gone up to the mountains and I interviewed John Scott. So we had a couple. So I had John Scott interview, and then had Archie Cruz from Santa Cruz. We talked about the train wreck show. And speaking of Archie Cruz from Santa Cruz, I don't know if you know that site Metal Sludge, which is run by the guy from the band Tough, Steve Rochelle, or whatever his name was. He heard the podcast. I don't know how he heard it, but somehow he came upon the podcast, and he posted that because when I was talking to Archie Cruz, we were talking about the Chris Jericho and the band Fozzy, and Archie said, well, Fozzie's fans are like all semi-retarded wrestling fans. So the guy from Metal Sludge, which that site is known for like snarky headlines and trying to dig up dirt and gossip. I think they do it with a sense of humor. They don't really mean any harm by it, but they just like to, bust balls and stir shit up. And they posted, Archie Cruz goes on a podcast and calls Chris Jericho's fans semi-retarded wrestling fans. And that podcast happened to be the Rock and Roll Geek Show. And somebody posted about it on Facebook on, I don't know, some guy. Chris Del Grande put screenshots of this thread. And a girl named Karen said, Santa Poos, Archie Poo is still talking crap about Eddie on podcasts I've never heard of. Does anyone listen to the Rock and Roll Geek podcast? And my friend Chris Del Grande goes, Karen, yes, it's the longest running music podcast in history and the second longest running podcast of all time. And then Karen chimes back, Chris Del Grande, well, if that's true, then that's very sad. He's a terrible host. I've never heard of it. Oh, fuck. And then Chris Del Grande comes back to Butler's defense again. Well, then, if you've never heard of it, he should cease operations immediately. And then Karen chimes back in. Chris Del Grande, maybe he should. No one likes a smart aleck, Chris. And then she's not done. She's got to make another comment because she thought after she made that comment, she goes, I could have came up with a better retort. So she comes back and goes, Chris, he shouldn't talk crap about people and allow his guest to use the R word to describe half of his fans. So this girl, I'm assuming she's a girl named Karen, decided, but by the way, there's some comments on the Metal Sludge Instagram too, not really saying too many nice things about your friend Michael Butler and his podcast. This is why I do not have advertisers on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. This is why I only take donations, because I got to answer to, first of all, if we said semi-retarded, then I get an advertiser going, we're going to pull our advertising because you said retard on your show. First of all, I don't need that bullshit hassle. Second of all, I don't need people like Karen, this Karen girl, telling me how to do my podcast. I got it. So yeah, that's why I don't take advertising, friends. But thank you, Karen, for the very kind words. Oh, I can't imagine how much more threads people bad mouthing me, but thank you, Karen. Anyway, back to James Shapiro. Is it James? What the fuck am I? Is it James Shapiro or James Schwab? It's James Shapiro. Back to you, James.
Michael Butler, how you doing? It's James Shapiro,
Hey, James.
here with my lovely wife at the end of the night.
Hello, Mrs. Shapiro. They went to the Darkness show.
After the Darkness show. I got to ask.
Are we going to get to hear from the lovely wife? Let me back it up a bit here. Okay.
My lovely wife at the end of the night after the Darkness show. I got to ask you, how you doing?
I am super great. Could not be better. A little shell-shocked after reading.
I think I am
a little bummed out after reading the people who hate the Rock and Roll Geek Show, and I'm a terrible host, but hey, what are you going to do?
Finally super great. Couldn't be better as well.
Good. Glad to hear it.
It was a great show.
Yes.
Had a blast. I know everybody knows the set list, so I won't go through the set list. But obviously, for my last message, I got a ticket. Who knows how much that's going to cost? I'm assuming it's going to be like $150. Sitting near next to my wife, I hope it's not $250.
Yeah, well.
But
by the way, when I was driving back from Georgia, I think that time when we saw you, James, I got pulled up. I decided to drive part of the way back to Jacksonville, and I got pulled over in Macon, Georgia, and I was going 90, I think, in a 55. Yeah, that's called a super speeder in the state of Georgia. So that's about that cost me like I think about $750. Yeah, that's only money.
With that, anyway, right after I left the last message, my wife ended up making it to the venue.
Good.
And we both went in together, and we were able to see a little bit of the Deads. Just to recap, I missed a bunch of the VIP experience, which was going to be really cool. The VIP, from what I was told, they were going to obviously play a bunch of the sound check, and then have a bit of a Q&A, which would have been really cool. And they were going to have some sort of, I guess, I don't know whether it's some sort of trivia contest or something, where they were going to allow one person who won whatever contest it was to get up on stage with the band. And as you heard, I missed all of that because I had a major work emergency and I was worried about even getting back to the show at all. But I ended up going home, getting my ticket from the cops, getting my wife set up so she could drive by herself to the show, driving back to work, dealing with the emergency situation, driving back to the venue. I got there right at the end of the Deads, which was a bummer because, no VIP, no Deads. And I actually liked what I heard from the Deads. We were there for about 3 songs, which we thought were pretty good. The Deads kind of rocked out on stage. I mean, the drummer was particularly, good. I thought was great. She was all like kind of channeling Bill Ward from Black Sabbath. Have you seen like old video of Bill Ward, like just hanging over the drums and shaking her head and freaking kind of, getting into a little bit of that swing kind of playing like Bill Ward. I thought she was really good. I thought the band was pretty good. Not as good as The Darkness, but definitely good. And so that kind of got me in the mood, and a double Jack and Diet also helped get me in the mood. And so we got a pretty good spot. The venue was really small. And we waited for The Darkness, and they came on and did not disappoint. Justin was every bit of the rock star that we all know that he is. Yes. Dan is like freaking their Malcolm Young. Frankie was incredibly cool with the Thunderbird bass slung low, and Rufus Taylor is an absolutely unbelievable drummer. I mean, just every second we were entertained in that show. And as crappy a week as I have had, and as crappy a day as I had, they started out Welcome to Glasgow and then One Way Ticket, and I was fist in the air, fired up, all of the troubles melt away, and just having a great fucking time. And, had the little costume change for Justin right before Black Shuck in the middle of the show.
Black Shuck!
Just incredible. And one thing I noticed, one thing crazy happened. At one point, somebody balled up like a scarf. Uh-huh. We have a local pro soccer team, Atlanta United, and somebody threw an Atlanta United scarf, balled up on stage, and it actually hit Justin in the head, and he laughed and fell back on his back, uh-huh. and had the microphone and was like, I've fallen, and I can't get up. And, he was asking about, what team the scarf was and getting the crowd riled up. It was funny. He ended up being really funny, a total good sport about it. And ended up tossing the scarf back and, talking about soccer teams. Obviously, he's English, so if you're in England, if you throw one soccer team scarf up on stage, then the fans of the other team in town, they're going to freaking hate you. So he kind of explained all that. Obviously, that would never happen in the States where we only have one team in town here in Atlanta. So anyway, they get going again. There was more than one bra thrown on stage. Yes, that's the lovely Tara, my wife. Yet there was one freaking bra thrown on stage that Frankie Pouliane hung on a mic stand, and it literally looked like could have housed a couple of bowling balls. I mean, it was like a freaking triple F-sized bra or whatever.
Very nice.
And Frankie hung that on his mic stand, which was funny as hell. And they came out for the encore.
By the way, James, I love the fact that your wife is sitting there listening to you do the show review. She's probably saying, what the fuck is he doing?
And one thing I noticed, I'm not sure if you did this at other shows, but Justin, before they played, I believe, in a thing called Love, he came out and he was playing a little bit of a song by Suede, the band from the 90s.
I don't think he did that at our show.
Called The Wild Ones. Now, I really like that song, The Wild Ones. It might not be necessarily in the wheelhouse of the rock and roll geek faithful, but that band Suede was kind of like Wanna Bowie band in the 90s. Yeah. And the album that The Wild Ones is on is basically their wannabe Diamond Dogs album. And I love Diamond Dogs, and I know you love Diamond Dogs.
It's my favorite David Bowie album.
And the song The Wild Ones is easily the best song on that Suede album. And so Justin was playing a little bit of it, and it's a down-tempo, low-key, glammy kind of song, and I recognized it right away, which was really cool. And then they did the encore, which was, I believe, in a thing called Love, which was fantastic. I mean, the whole thing was fantastic. Incredibly entertained every second. And after a complete shit week and a complete shit day,
isn't it great how rock and roll can make it all better?
To make all the troubles go away for a little while. So we had a great time. Just got home, and anyway, if anybody has tickets for the remaining dates, there's probably only a couple of dates left. Go see The Darkness. I will go again no matter what, and I will get my ass in the VIP for the entire VIP experience the next time around. But anyway, hope you're having a good Saturday night, Michael Butler, and stay frosty, my friend.
Stay frosty, friend. That's not all from James Shapiro. I think he went to see The Darkness again because I got another audio comment from him. So this is the finale of the cliffhanger.
Michael Butler, how's it going?
I'm super
James
great.
Shapiro. Do you hear the sounds all around me? I am in New York City.
Flew
So
to
I have
New
ask
York.
you, how you doing?
I am super great. Could not be better.
That's great. I'm super great. Couldn't be better.
Yes.
Because you're not going to believe how the Darkness story ends for me. I obviously sent you the comment that I made it to the show, had a great time in Atlanta. As it would happen, that my job that other people would kill for, and I don't like to complain about, but obviously sometimes stresses me out a great deal. My job brought me to New York tonight. I got an event tomorrow I got to deal with for work. And then I'm flying to Memphis. Super quick trip. And as luck would have it, The Darkness is playing here in New York.
How about that?
And I said, fuck it.
Fuck it.
I'm going to get a ticket, and I'm going to fucking go and see them again. So I'm here in New York. I'm waiting for an Uber. I'm going to go down to Webster Hall. I'm going to get in. I'm going to rock out solo, watching The Darkness again, my friend. So I'll let you know how that is. Probably be just as good as the first time, of course, because they never disappoint. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Stay frosty.
Now, I don't think he sent me a follow-up show review, so if you did, I'll look for it while this song is playing, but I don't think he did. What song do I want to play? How about brand new Liar Bandit Thief? Let me see if I can find the buyer that was sent to me by the label. Liar Thief Bandit. Fucking idiot. Liar Thief Bandit. This is sent to me from Freeman Promotions. Liar Thief Bandit released a new single, Diamonds Are Made Under Pressure. Swedish power trio Liar Thief Bandit share the fourth single from their upcoming mini-album, Diamonds Are Made Under Pressure. Is a feel-good rock track with uplifting choruses and vibrant riffs. The track continues on a theme presented on the band's latest album, Deadlight. Mike from the band explains, Diamonds Are Made Under Pressure is a love song and a continuation of Catch and Release from the Deadlights album. Catch was about meeting someone new in an untimely way. Diamonds is about nourishing what that relationship has grown to be. Dare to believe in the happiness you feel, and you'll find it easier to enjoy the present. Out now on all streaming platforms. Upcoming mini album Diamonds will be released in September via the Sign Records. All right, so this song is called Diamonds Are Made Under Pressure by Liar Thief Bandit. Okay, let's hit play.
It ain't easy taking it day by day, not knowing where it's gonna land. But we do it for the kicks and thrills, unaware if it's gonna stand. In a heartbeat, it can all go away. In a second, things can go your way.
There you go. Liar, thief, bandit. Turns out James Shapiro did call a follow-up, so let's hear the final conclusion of the James Shapiro Darkness trilogy.
Michael Butler, James Shapiro reporting
On the streets of New York!
almost live from New York. How you doing, my friend?
I'm super great, couldn't be better!
Well, it is the morning after the Darkness show. I have to go do this thing for work here, and I'm really freaking glad I got a ticket to see them again. It was a total spur of the moment thing. I had this trip in New York, just one night only. Have to do this event today. Have to move on to Memphis. I look on social media, I follow the Darkness, and they're like, we're playing in New York. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna try to get a ticket. And I got a ticket, totally affordable. It was like $35, which is a steal to see the Darkness.
Yes.
So I get to New York, have a dinner that I have to do for work at 6:30, and I'm like, there's no way I won't make it. Get done with the dinner about 8:30.
Well, you probably caught maybe the last song of Dead Deads, maybe not, but you probably caught the Darkness. They probably didn't start till 9, right?
Jumping an Uber, going downtown. Uber driver's talking my ear off. She was nice though, but good Uber. Then I roll up to Webster Hall where the Darkness is playing, and literally 30 seconds after I show up, they go on.
Oh.
Could not have been more perfect. I freaking literally, welcome to Glasgow. It's kind of a, intro, throwaway number. I had a chance to get a drink at the bar. Got a spot right by the soundboard. I was literally like bellied up right to the bike rack, right behind the soundboard guy. Perfect place to watch. Perfect place to listen. Show was freaking great. Of course. One-way ticket. Growing on me. You know the set list.
Yes.
It was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
One thing that was different, was crazy. It was different from the Atlanta show. They played Solid Gold. Great tune.
Shitting out solid. They played that in San Francisco.
And Justin comes out with a freaking keytar for the solo.
Oh, nice.
Nice touch. Very, very good. They were generally...
So, now the keytar, did he play keyboards for the solo?
They were up for it. They were obviously fired up to be playing in New York.
Yes.
It's towards the end of the tour. They were rocking out on stage. It was absolutely awesome. Towards the end, actually, the encores, it was funny. I bump into this guy. He's there with his girlfriend. We're talking a little bit. He really wanted to hear "Get Your Hands Off My Woman."
They played that, didn't they? They played it when I saw him.
Darkness fan, good guy. He's in a band, sings and plays guitar. He hands me a flyer for his band. They're called the Sunrisers. Flyer's got this
The Sunrisers. Okay.
this chick flipping the bird for the camera, and it said
The Sunrisers. Let me see if I can find the Sunrisers. The Sunrisers. Okay, I'm looking here while his audio comment plays. Let's see. Okay.
it's 1,000% rock and roll at Sunrisers NYC. So he told me, tell all my friends, come see his band. I'm gonna do the next best thing. Tell everybody on the Rock and Roll Geek Show to go see the Sunrisers if you're ever in New York. And then almost immediately after that conversation, we're towards the end of the show, the Darkness come out and play "Get Your Hands Off My Woman." Motherfucker.
Motherfucker!
Great way to end up. They go off. Crowd's going berserk. They're all chanting "Darkness, darkness, dark." It was really good. You know what the encores are like, but it's always good to see a crowd that's up for it, like this crowd was. It was great. And then they come out for the encore, and they start. Justin, the thing that you've seen. Frankie takes the bass and does all this kind of weird stuff, and I guess that's probably where Justin's putting on another unitard thing and getting ready for the encore. And then the whole band comes out. Justin kind of noodles a little bit on guitar, played something completely different. I remember at the Atlanta show, he played a cover of that song by Suede. But for the New York show, he played something different that I couldn't quite recognize. And then they launch into, I believe, in a thing called Love. And he's about to start singing, and he stops the whole band. So the whole band stops. He's like, wait, stop, cease.
Cease!
And Justin says, looks out at the crowd. He says, we got this awesome circle of people that look like they're having a great time, jumping up and down. And then we've got these other people that have their phones up in the air. And that's awesome because we're going to put on a great show. We want everybody to know that how great we are. But, you know, let's put the phones away. Like, basically, you know, in a really, really good way, he said, let's can it with the phones and let's rock out for one more song. And people bought into it completely. And
everybody, by the way, when you go to a Darkness show, I know some people don't like the Darkness, but I fucking love them. When you go to a Darkness show, everybody that's in there is all smiles.
I believe in a thing called Love, and that was you know, obviously the encore closer. But pretty good way, you know, you hear all about bands getting pissed off at people with their phones. I recorded it. I'll have to send that to you. I'm just kidding. So anyway,
that's a little podcast humor for you there.
Great little time to duck away in New York and have some fun on a work trip. I'm psyched that I got to do it. But anyway, after all of my adventures trying to get to the Atlanta show, it was good to be able to see him again. That's all I got. Michael Butler, stay frosty. Take care of my friends.
Stay frosty, James Shapiro. By the way, if that Karen girl happened to listen to this episode, and maybe John Tennis too, or John Scott, excuse me, John Tennis, Rock and Roll Geek friend. John Scott, he's going, I donated to this shit. Okay. I found the Sunrisers. This is a live at Ridgewood, NYC. Let's listen a little bit. So it's live. The quality may not be good. Let's see how they are. Playing at Johnny Thunder's Les Paul Jr. They don't look that good. Bass player is a dork. The guitar player is wearing a dog collar, like a la Cheetah Chrome. The drummer's the lead vocalist. All right, there you go. I've heard enough. Sunrisers, if you like the Sunrisers. All right, another audio comment. This is from Chris Capel, the former rock and roll copywriter. Now he's Rock and Roll Romeo. I just named him that. He's a rock and roll copywriter. Chris Capel, how you doing, friend?
Michael Butler, Chris Capel, rock and roll copywriter. Checking in with the show review.
Good.
But first of all, let's start with the real deal. How you doing?
I'm super great. Couldn't be better. I'm on the second Pacifico.
Awesome.
now.
I'm going to take a sip
I'm on
of
the
this
second.
fine
I'm on the second Pacifico. I feel like I've already got a buzz.
Nod Hill Geo Bunny IPA. You take a sip of your beverage.
Oh, I'll take. Okay,
let's do it.
Okay.
For show review. Here we go.
Okay.
John Waite
from the Babies
at the Wall Street Theater in Norwalk, Connecticut. Now,
yes.
What else is there to do on a Wednesday night in Connecticut?
John Waite. I'd love to see that. I saw John Waite.
Concert, I guess.
I saw John Waite at Yoshi's in San Francisco, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Unfortunately, I was disappointed. I didn't think his band was that good. I don't remember what I didn't like about it, but I was a little disappointed. Hopefully Chris Capel had a better experience.
Theater is a small place. It's one of those theaters that started out and then they kept closing and changing the name and so forth. From what I understand, Diana Ross's husband, this Norwegian guy, wanted to get his claws into show business, so he opened a theater, and it lasted a few years, and it closed. And then it opened again in the 90s, and I saw David Lee Roth there and the Go-Go's there in 1994, and Cinderella there in 1995. Then it closed. That was called the Globe then. And it reopened several years ago as the Wall Street Theater. And I haven't been there. And I used to live in Norwalk, and this is half an hour away from me. And it was like 7:30 last night, Wednesday the 20th. And I was like, girlfriend's in Germany visiting her family. So.
Now she's the girlfriend. She's no longer the Tinder date or the Match.com date. Now she's the girlfriend. Glad to hear it, Chris Capel. I really am.
I'm sitting around, and I'm like, I want to go to this. I said, yeah, why not? I mean, I went to a double bill on Halloween 1985, John Waite and Cheap Trick at Radio City Music Hall in New York City that night, and Cheap Trick just smoked. They weren't the second act, so well, whatever. And I also then saw John Waite on a triple bill with Journey and Peter Frampton at Jones Beach many years later. But anyway, back to John Waite. I decided what the hell, so I drove down there, did a walk up. I was looking online, and they had these 2 single seats in the 4th row.
That's pretty good.
I said, when I walked down there, I said, all right, how much? And they said, $62, gold circle. So I said, all right, that's cool.
That's all right.
So I went in there, and
I can't believe I just said that's all right. $62 to see an hour set.
I was 4th row, and I was, there was 2 people sitting next to the aisle, then me. So I went and sat down in that seat, and these other 2 people came in and filled in the 2 seats between me and the aisle, and he was kind of this John Gotti looking guy, and he suddenly knew the 2 guys on my left. So they started talking, and the John Gotti guy spilled a drink on me, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to get whacked. But I said to the guys next to me, why don't we switch? So
yeah, there you go. Good thinking.
So I moved 2 seats over to the left, which put me pretty much center. And it's a small place. I don't know how many seats. I mean, when I went there, the other shows, they didn't have seats because we weren't old people then.
Yeah.
They just had a,
By the way, Chris Capel sent me a picture. Let me interrupt here. Chris Capel sent me a picture of John Waite. Man, he's looking a little bit rough.
But they have a balcony, and they have those, I don't know, those opera seats on the side, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the venue, God, I'm almost 4 minutes in. I haven't given the set list yet. The venue, see what happens when I have an IPA with
That's
dinner.
Right, yes.
The venue was probably half full. I mean, there were still plenty of tickets left. So when John Waite came out with his guitars, they started the show acoustically, and he made some jokes about it being 420 and,
hey, it's 420, dude.
And like I said, Connecticut's always been kind of lame on the concert scene. But
everybody
whatever.
getting high on 420?
So he came out, and they started acoustically, and they started off, oddly enough, with All Along the Watchtower.
All along the Watchtower. I think you're in for a disappointment, man. I'm here to see John Waite do some Babies tunes and some good solo hits that he has. Like People Talking, the saying that he's not going to open with that, but All Along the Watchtower. Did he do Dylan's version or John Hendrix's version?
Jimi Hendrix song, which is written by Dylan. I don't know where that fits into John Waite's world.
Yeah. Me neither.
And then he did an acoustic, When I See You Smile, the Bad
When
English
I
song,
See You Smile, Bad English.
hit, blah, blah, blah. And then he did a country song called Bluebird Cafe and told a little story about it, how he wrote that in Nashville. And then he did one called Downtown, and it wasn't the Babies Downtown. It was some other song from a later album he did. And
now, do I have John Waite? Let me look. John Waite. Let me see. John Waite. John Waite. John Waite. John. J-O. Oh, how do you spell John? Motherfucker, am I fucking out of it or what? Let me see. Oh, here it is, right here. Let's see if I have it. Here you go. Falling Backwards, a complete John Waite. All right, come on. Come on, play. Come on, play. Downtown. Downtown. Is this the one?
I wait for sundown on the fire escape. Watch the
All
passing.
right, so far you're getting a pretty sleepy set.
I thought was cool about that song, and that was on his Temple Bar album from '95, by the way. What I thought was cool about that Downtown song is that he started out acoustically and then brought out the band kind of halfway and ended it electrically. So that was cool. So it was him and a guitar player, and he played a lot of acoustic guitar, a bass player who looked like he walked out of 1974.
Well, that's good.
Because he had that thing going that like Black Sabbath used to do where their hair's in their faces and you couldn't see it. But he was cool. I was watching him because I was a bass player and blah, 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 blah. So then he did his number one hit, Missing You.
I ain't missing you at all. Missing You. This one here. Listen to a little bit of Missing You here. Okay, all these songs are in the clouds. I gotta wait for them to load. If I gotta keep waiting for all these songs, I'm just gonna be singing. So, come on, missing you, missing you, missing you, missing you. I fucking love John Waite's music, man, and the Babies. Missing you.
Every
Time I think of you.
I always catch my
Great voice on that guy. How did his voice sound? Because his voice is, you know, when it's John Waite.
miles away, and I'm wondering why you left. And there's a storm that's raging through my
Get it to the chorus.
frozen heart
I'm gonna geek out on John Waite and the Babies now.
I hear your name in certain circles, and it always makes me smile. I spend my time thinking about you, and it's almost driving me wild. And there's a
Here it comes.
heart that's breaking down this long distance line tonight.
Everybody!
Ain't missing you at all. Since you've been gone,
I bet everybody in the crowd was singing along. It's a great
I
tune.
ain't missing you. No matter what I might say.
All right, back to you, Chris Capel.
They didn't even have a keyboard player.
Okay, we'll back it up a little bit here. I don't know about you, but I love Chris Capel's show reviews.
It was cool. I was watching him because I was a bass player and blah, 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 blah. So then he did his number one hit, Missing You. And they didn't even have a keyboard player. And then they did Every Time I Think of You, the Babies
Oh,
song.
yeah, okay, let's find the Babies here. Every time I think of you. Let's see, now I got to pull back up the Babies. Okay, Babies. Come on, Babies. The Babies, which is on, I believe that's on first album. No, it's probably on Head First, isn't it? Let's see. Every time I think of you. It might be on Head First. Let's see. Or Union Jacks. So I have the anthology and I have Babies and Broken Heart. Every time I think of you. Great tune. Fuck, what a great
Always
tune.
turns out good.
This isn't the first album?
Every time I've held you, I thought you understood.
No, I think it's on Head First.
People say a love like ours will surely pass.
I love this fucking tune,
But I
man.
know a love like ours will last and last.
I saw the Babies without John Waite. Like, they have a current version of the Babies, and they got two female background singers. They were fucking great. Wally Stockard was the guitar player, And that drummer, I don't forget that drummer's name. The fucking great drummer. And the singer played bass like John Waite used to do. Yeah, that's a fucking great tune, man.
And he was saying how it had to strip down and how when they recorded it, they had strings and brass and un-PC-ly enough, he said, you know, three African-American girls singing. But they did it okay. I mean, that guitar player guy did backing vocals, although...
You can't match those background vocals from those women, man. Those background vocals were so great in the Babies.
You know, do the high part, but whatever. They did it well. And actually, in Missing You, he said they had a technical issue. I don't know what it was, but whatever. Then he did Whenever You Come Around, which is a Vince Gill song, which... I don't know. Something called Imaginary Girl, which I don't know where that came from. It's one of his songs.
Let's see. John Waite. I don't mind searching for John Waite. I got to jump back and forth between Babies and John Waite, but what's it called? Imaginary Girl? Like I said, I have the complete John Waite. Nope. Is it on Rough and Tumble? That's only John Waite's I have, so I don't know that one.
Midnight Rendezvous, which is a Baby song.
Midnight Rendezvous. The Babies do that, or the Butlers do that one.
Which is on his the Missing You album, No Breaks.
What album was that?
Imaginary Girl, which I don't know where that came from. It's one of his songs. Midnight Rendezvous, which is a Baby song. Tears, which is on his the Missing You album, No Breaks, which was actually written by, or co-written by Vinnie Vincent of Kiss and another Connecticut native, thank you.
I did not know that.
Best of What I Got, Bad English, Back on My Feet Again, Babies, Head First Babies.
I'm back on, here I am! I'm back on my feet again! What's that one? Back on My Feet is on... Is that on Broken Heart? That might be on Head First too. Why don't I have Head First on here?
Then he did an encore of Whole Lot of Love, and then he did...
Really?
I should know this, but I don't. He did kind of an extension, what like Led Zeppelin used to do, and like not The Hunter, but something in some blues song, but whatever.
No,
isn't it? It was an hour and a half.
No, Isn't It Time? No, Give Me Your Love. No, Broken Heart. No, get back on my feet again. Didn't he say that? I would have been a little bit disappointed.
It was a good show. You know, John Waite's funny. He's very personable. It was great because I was fourth row. I just kind of walked in, you know, during the opening act. Good. The opening act was this hipster solo guitar guy.
Yeah, who cares?
And I stayed in the lobby while he played because I didn't want to walk in the middle of a set. And what I remember most, he did this absolutely like painful, elongated, slowed down Against the Wind by Bob Seger, which is a good song, but when you play it,
I've been running against the wind.
And then he came out for the encore, Whole Lot of Love. And what I noticed, all these guys and
listen, I don't care about seeing John Waite do Whole Lot of Love. I want to hear fucking Babies tunes. He didn't do Change. It's all the same. Change. That's his fucking biggest hit, isn't it? Change.
In John Waite's band, they all had really cool shoes. And this guy had like
really
dirty
cool
boots.
Shoes.
And it's like he's a hipster. He had the hat. He had the beard. He had the glasses.
Poser, fucking poser.
I'm sorry. I'm anti-hippie.
Poser.
I'm anti-hipster. So forgive me for that. No, don't forgive me. The hell with it. So why am I saying this? There we go again. See what happens when you get me to drink.
Yeah, I got you to drink.
Anyway, so he had dirty boots on. So that he
Yeah,
also
never trust a
sold
guy
off
fucking
supplies.
poser with fucking dirty boots.
He wasn't a full-time musician.
They're probably brand new boots, and he made them dirty to look like he's a tough guy.
But whatever. So that was that. And the good news was the show ended at 10:15, and I just
got home in a decent hour.
Right up Route 33 to home, and I was home by 10:45. So older crowd, really older crowd.
Yeah.
I was like the youngest person there.
I can't believe he
50s,
didn't
I'm the
do
youngest
people
person
talking, they're saying that you're leaving. That's a fucking major hit.
And, people, it was good. I mean, I'm really glad.
We always wish for money. We always wish for fame. I'm singing, but he didn't play that one.
When it's kind of waffling whether I should go or not.
And he didn't play this one. My favorite fucking Babies tune. Listen to the guitar tone on this fucking song. Where is it? Come on, play, motherfucker, play. This song is fucking great. Listen to that guitar. Wally Stockard went on to play with Rod Stewart. And of course, the great Michael Kirby, who they threw out of the band after Broken Heart. That guitar tone is fucking great. Oh, fuck, that's a great tune.
So that's the story. John Waite at the Wall Street Theater, Norwalk, Connecticut. Chris, the rock and roll copywriter, signing off.
Thank you, Chris Capel, rock and roll copywriter. You too can leave me a show review. Area code 7. No, not area. Don't call the number. Just record it on your phone and email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. I want to listen to the rest of Give Me Your Love. Fuck it. Fuck it. It's my show. This guitar right here. Oh. Thank you for indulging me, friends. Little babies geek out. All right, another audio comment from one of my favorite men in the world. Men. One of my favorite men, Jonathan Travers.
Hey Butler, what's going on? It's your buddy Jonathan Travers.
Hey, Jonathan Travers.
Sunday night about 10:30. Just kicking back, listening to the podcast. Anyway, it's funny that you went on that meltdown rant because that guy's right out of Detroit here on the riff.
Oh, was that meltdown rant? Was that who was I talking about? I don't know. Somebody interviewing somebody.
All right.
Oh, Chris Jericho probably.
And he actually hasn't written me back yet, but yeah, when the darkness came through town here, I wrote him and I said, hey, it's funny you had an actual rock band down the street and no promotion from the riff per usual.
Yeah.
But boy, they'll promote that bullshit fall beat and that hell yeah. Oh my God. But if you ever listen to, I know you won't, but sometimes just to kill time, I will listen to a podcast with Meltdown if it's someone I kind of find interesting.
Oh yeah, the guy's name is Meltdown. I'm gonna change my name to something stupid like Meltdown.
Enough to kill time with. And he's another one of these Eddie Trunks where, oh yeah, I just texted him the other day. I consider him a friend. I've known him. So I interviewed him. And,
oh, well, wait till you find out who I texted, motherfuckers.
Oh, God, it's just ridiculous. And by the way, who made Eddie Trunk the fucking gatekeeper for rock and metal news?
I think he
and what goes viral and what, oh my God, I can't stand that I mean mine shit. He's a hard podcast to listen to. It don't matter who he interviews. I can't.
You talking about Eddie Trunk or Meltdown?
I can't take that shit. But yeah, I also find it funny the keyboard player in Guns N' Roses. The last time I watched a video, and I don't know about backing tracks for Guns N' Roses because if you listen to Axl, he sucks, and he needs something piped in. I've seen a lot of videos where he sounds like dog shit. But yeah, I've seen that keyboard player. I was watching
Dizzy Reed.
Yeah, I was watching Night Train.
Is it Dizzy Reed? I think so. Or is it Jizzy Pearl? I don't know.
It's turning to my girlfriend I don't remember a fucking keyboard on Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah.
What is she actually playing? What is she?
Oh, that's right. They have two keyboard players in Guns N' Roses now.
Typing in if you got two guitar players, a bass player, a dipshit on bongos.
Dipshit on bongos. Oh, I love it. Dipshit on bongos.
And the drummer, what is she actually putting into the mix? But yeah, that last thing too, yeah, that Chris Jericho on the Meltdown at Fozzy. That is one of the, I can't believe that's what's considered mainstream metal nowadays. That Fozzy.
Yeah, and I watched a video. Some guy did a breakdown of Fozzy. The guy, it's on YouTube. The guy's fucking host is hilarious. He breaks down the Fozzy live, and he's got backing tracks galore, even worse than Santa Cruz.
They are fucking terrible. But anyway, just wanted to rant real quick. Don't want to take up too much of your time. Hey, sorry to disappoint the girl in the Facebook page that I didn't have a mullet. But sorry about that. Anyway.
Did somebody? Jonathan Travers posted a picture of himself with the drummer for the Darkness, and maybe somebody commented that they didn't like the way he looked.
I didn't mean to disappoint. Stay frosty, stay healthy. Later, brother.
All right, stay frosty, friend. Thank you for calling. I really appreciate it. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Just record it in your phone and call. I love the audio comments. If you can't donate to the show, that's another way to help produce the show, friends, is send audio comments. I love it. All right. That's all the audio comments I have. But now, I texted somebody today, a guy named Richie Stotts from a band called the Plasmatics, motherfucker. Yeah, I was texting my friend Richie Stotts today. Adam, the guitar player for American Heartbreak, he was on... He was one of the guitar players we had in American Heartbreak. Adam, he also had a band called the Lust Killers, and he also did the Stiv parts on Lords of New Church on a couple of tours for them. Anyway, he's a major Plasmatics fan, like I am, and somehow he knows Richie Stotts' wife, and he arranged for, he asked her if Richie would be interested in coming on the Rock and Roll Geek show, and she said yes, and gave him Richie's number to give to me for me to call him and to line up the time. Well, I called him today. What a fucking nice guy Richie Stotts is, man. He was such a sweet man. When I talked to him for about maybe 5-10 minutes a day. I could have done the interviews today, but I wanted to prepare. I want to have time to really do a good interview with Richie Stotts from the Plasmatics. If you don't know who Richie Stotts is, go back and look at the early Plasmatics videos. First of all, if you don't know who Richie Stotts from the Plasmatics is, shame on you. But he's the guy who played left-handed flying V, Mohawk, wore a nurse's outfit. Sometimes he would wear a Playboy bunny outfit and a tutu. Fucking greatest guy on stage, man. He was a fucking maniac. He was about 7 feet tall, lanky, dorky-looking dude, and he fucking ripped on guitar, played heavy as shit, and it was total chaos. I talked to him today for about 10 minutes, and we lined up an interview for 2 days after I come back from Hawaii. I'm going to be not jamming, but cramming, that's the word, or jamming my brain full of Plasmatics tunes so I can think up really good questions for Richie Stotts. I would like you to please send me some questions too, friends, if you're a Plasmatics fan. Send it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, because I'm looking forward to talking to Richie Stotts. I don't know about you, but the fucking Plasmatics they're one of those bands that just comes around once in a lifetime. True originals, and talk about dangerous bands. Windy-O, no one ever was like Windy-O, and no one ever will be again like Windy-O. And Richie Stotts, fucking great as well. So I'm interviewing him on Sunday, May 8th. So please give me your questions, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, or create a thread on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group with questions for Richie Stotts, Plasmatics questions, or King Flux. And if anybody has that King Flux record, can you please not send me that? Because I don't think you can find it. Is there a King Flux record? If anybody has any King Flux recordings, please send them to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, along with Richie Stotts questions. All right, that's going to do it for me, because we're an hour and a half into this, and I got to post this, and I got to get up super early in the morning. So let's close out with a Plasmatics tune. Man, that's going to be so cool to talk to Richie Stotts. I hope this thing really happens. And he texted me today afterwards. He goes, because I said, how about Sunday, May 9th? And he texted me back, hey, it was really nice. Hi, Michael. Let me see if I can find the text here. Let's see. What is that? Okay. Where is it? Oh, I don't know where it is. Anyway, where's Richie Stotts? I can't find the text. But anyway, it was something something like, it was really nice talking to you today, but I think you got the date wrong, and we're doing it on Sunday, May 8th, right? Or are we doing it Monday, May 9th? So he's a really courteous man. Seems like a real sweetheart of a person, and I'm looking forward to talking to the guy and talking some Plasmatics with the great fucking Richie Stotts. Let's close out with this is probably my favorite Plasmatics tune, with the exception of every song on A New Hope for the Wretched, a fucking masterpiece album of fucking chaos. But Doom Song, if this don't get you going, man, I don't know what will. But thank you for listening, friends. The great Windy-O Williams and the Plasmatics and the great Richie Stotts. Doom Song. Thank you for listening, friends. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek Don't Ask. Find the show at rockandrollgeek.com. I'll talk to you soon, friends. Maybe I will do some short shows from Hawaii. No promises, but I'll try.
Sanctify this place. Protect us from evil. Behold the power of the night. Shine, that we may see the light. Curse the filthy hypocrites. Crawl into their beds at night. Ooze from slimy depths below. Scream into their frozen brains. Work thy wretched wrath. Remove all obstacles from our path. I command that these things of which I speak will come to be.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.